3-0.
I think you and I probably just have casted. We've cast a ton of FaZe. We're a bit closer with that team at times just due to our relationship with Crowder. Like more insight we have on this team. I think you and I are just like, it takes a lot for us to trust them at this point. You know, we hear how they've done in scrims the last few years, are slamming everybody, and that just doesn't come to fruition in the matches. It's going to take a bit for you to just be like, yeah, they're coming in 3-0 slamming somebody. No, you don't have that belief yet.
I mean, listen, they are a top 3, top 4 every single.
Yes, 100%.
But like, yeah, to be the clear favorites, like they kind of were in Cold War, it's just going to take some time. It, you know, feels like they needed a little muscle. They added Drazah with the gun show. But they're taking on Seattle Surge. The Seattle Surge yesterday versus OpTic, I just think there were a couple of clear mistakes. They probably went back and watched. If you look at the stats, Illey continued, but you need a little bit more slang, a little bit more help maybe from Abuzah and Huke. We'll see if we get that today. But right off the get-go, it's 20-0 for Atlanta FaZe.
And for FaZe, you got no excuses this year. I mean, we have a very high respect for Drazah's ability. This is the most talented team they have had. Now he's going to go out and make it work. So far, they've got some dubs, but we'll see how they do in a tough test here against Seattle Surge. Drazah, well, as I'm gassing him up, it's Elliot's going to pluck his head from up top. But so far, all the points, it's the FaZe boys up early, and those are lovely shots with a rival at range.
Yeah, 45-0, 44, sorry, right from the get-go on that P1. So nice time there, over to P2. They have Cellium working inside, plays his life, and well, that is what he does so well in this league. Just finds that multi-kill, so difficult to take down. But he had FaZe right back into the hill.
Yeah, and even, you know, had they not cut the full on breaking got time, as aBeZy's on 5 in a row, he disrupted the first 20 or so seconds to the point that Surge with the early rotation, you only got 4 ticks. It was not much at all. FaZe bust right on through.
And look at this, you kind of are putting Seattle in a position where do we want to rotate or not, but Cell spawns up and he just works the P3 rotation. He's going to give his teams the spawn, or at least a couple of them the spawn. Illey is there. We see where Simp spawns up. He's got a one-on-one, and I mean, I think he just turns on Arcitys. But you see the left side of the map, it's a bit of a mess. People are spawning on top of each other, in front of each other. But over towards P3, we're going to have Atlanta FaZe set up.
Yeah, it should make a little bit more sense now. The chaos will kind of settle down. Left side versus right side, as the spawns were a bit wild there for a moment, as you mentioned. But now, yeah, it works out. You rotate. If you are FaZe, you did enough damage there on the early setup from Surge. Now, what can you do with the setup? aBeZy, the point man, he's going to be dropped. He'll be coming off spawn, and now a chance for Surge to fly on forward. Drazah getting angles, hitting shots, backing down. It's Abuzah that's able to lay him out, and into the point is Abuzah, as he's finding kills all around. Is Cellium still trying to go big, spawning up very far, is going to be Simp now. And Seattle Surge, good job getting in.
Yeah, luckily for FaZe, Drazah spawns close. He gets the close spawn. You did have Cellium inside a junk, so maybe that allows them to get that. But yeah, like you said, Simp spawns out. And I think Seattle Surge, great job here with that initial push. Illey looking over their teammates. They take down Drazah. That starts the assault onto the hill. A couple of seconds of scrap time will go the way of Atlanta FaZe. So they'll keep around that 50-point lead.
That's reminded me like FaZe at times. Like, you know, they make that break, a difficult break, looks so easy at P2. Have an early setup at P3, which should be difficult to break, and they get broke instantly. Like, they've been so good at breaking, not as good at holding at times. Just it's been the, I don't know, description of this team for years.
Yeah, but we saw the pregame. It's been the opposite, right? So sometimes their breaking has just not been as great as it has been in the past. Ranked 11th.
Yeah, that just reminded me of, or that sequence reminded me of old school. Like,
yeah, 100%. So we'll see if they get a break here. You have Surge on the hill. Arcee's locking down the alleyway, and well, aBeZy's looking over Simp. Maybe just had an idea that Arcitys was in that position, and they get him off that hill. There's that break we were talking about.
And now they get back in. 25 or so to work with. Illey, I mean, shots, it's tough with the railing at times. He's able to recenter, get control, get the shots on through to Drazah. He's won a couple difficult ones against him now. Now how hard this point can be to hold. You're kind of bobbing, weaving, dancing in and out of the hard point, but as the dust settles, it'll be Seattle Surge now inside. As we get ready, you see the lock popping up. Next hard point about to drop here on the north side of the map.
Lock popping and dropping, as you said. P5 underway. Simp going to be collecting that time. Just taking a look at the scoreboard here. Cell 8 and 3. Everyone else positive or even. So again, that slaying, something we talked about from that OpTic Texas series. Abuzah 9 and 7. The other 3 on 5 kills. Can they get a break here? All this time would put FaZe close to up to 100 points.
They continue to try and build this advantage. But Surge do enough that they are getting heavy. I think someone's gonna have to turn it around a little bit, like just from a slaying standpoint. Granted, at times this FaZe team, they'll have the slaying advantage and still win narrow games in the past, but hopefully they'll have a different identity with Drazah on this roster. But you're looking to start to punish if you are Surge. Try to find some openings, because all the points going the way of Atlanta. This will get them, what, up to about a 60, 70 point lead once it's all said and done, as the rotation is in for Surge and all the scrap time the way it FaZe.
Yeah, I think early in that hill, you're thinking Surge is going to have that break, but it looked like FaZe kind of had an idea of what they were doing. They sent one player off the hill. They knew they had the closer spawns. They were spawning Surge out bridge, so they had like a 3-on-2, 4-on-2. They knew they were going to re-break that hill based off the respawns of Surge.
They need Illey to get it going. Illey, that's 3 in a row, all right? He's wiping the entire team off the map as he's up top third. Allows his team to get set up inside of the hard point. aBeZy tries to send it on through, but another AR and Arcitys will be chopping him down. Now Drazah's looking for angles. He's heady. Every single part of this central area is heady. It's tough.
No, it absolutely is. And again, just that's probably one of those positions you see a little bit more snaking or a ton of snaking, but that does not come into fruition. As Simp is trying to get this time.
There's the trophy.
And there's the trophy that would have saved him.
But Drazah is able to get in for the time, and now Cell will get angles up top once they're able to get Illey out of his spot. And you've just maintained this 60-ish point advantage throughout the course. Now, this is where the break came in last time for FaZe. This sort of started the lead, right? This is where it began. Let's see if they can do it again, or can Surge hold a little bit stronger here? Seattle Surge, you gotta hold. I mean, this is where you need to get it done. If it's a break from FaZe, they more than likely take the map. Let's go to Surge's comms as they try to lock it down.
They're taking route.
On me, office.
One office, nice. But downstairs on me, downstairs.
Front, weak.
Patch, I get time.
It could be close.
Another wave.
Guys, one here.
On the back, on the back.
Wait, I think they're spawning behind. Yo, Andrew, can you play new? I'm gonna help.
Yeah, I'm winning, bro.
I think they're
I'm not
Yeah,
main.
I have your main. Okay, I'm coming back. They're definitely gonna get
Office in top plat. Office in top plat, bro.
Okay, I'm dead. Nice.
We're missing one. We're missing one.
Twin note. We good.
That's us too. Can someone help me on the right or no?
Yeah. I have your bottom, okay?
I'm back left. Yeah, I got time.
I'm holding top right.
Have your bottom.
Dead.
Nice, have your bottom, bro. You can do whatever you want.
I'm holding
Top red. Top plat going jumping in the red.
Okay. I'm holding red. Red. Sell absolute red.
Two in red then. We're gonna need that bond, guys.
Yeah,
Top enemy. But I'm dead. One more tap on me. Two. No, it's me, bro. Bottom right. Two on right.
Yo, he just pushed.
Aspen no face.
Drazah one shot. I got flanked from the back door as well. Yo, Drazah's on. Drazah's mid lane. Aspen bridge. Missing Simp.
Well, Durna, listen, I love some of the small talk kind of between Huke and Illey as they were thinking of kind of figuring out who's going to do the early rotation, who's going to hold it down. Some great stuff. Things kind of fell apart though at the end of the listening.
No, yeah, I mean, great small talk, but it's just like when you needed the kills to come in, you kind of heard Abuzah say, I'm going to need help on the right. Huke off his spawn just gets caught by aBeZy, and that was a 60-second hold that you needed if you were Seattle Surge. They're going to get most of the time, but Atlanta FaZe, you saw they fought for the scrap time over at second, and then got that break for, 20 or so seconds to keep this lead that they have maintained throughout the game.
Yeah, I mean, second didn't go as well as they hoped it would. That's for sure. But once again, a break kind of bailing them out. Just what happens when those breaks don't come is sort of the question. But now they try to rally this lead as high as it can get, trying to slide cancel and shallow Simp, but Illey keeps on shooting and the wall bang comes through. The rest of the FaZe team, though, picks up the kills, and this is some really quality time they're getting early in the hard point. Now aBeZy's going to go ahead and try to play spoiler.
Yeah, 25 more seconds. Man, this is a map like, you're kind of heard in the listenings, like FaZe is taking a lot of these sort of different routes. They're trying to set up these breaks, and well, it's paid off. That's going to be 4 in a row. You're looking at the engagements. This is nothing crazy. You think a team like FaZe, they want to play like sub base, and more fights the better, but they know they have to take their time in certain situations. On Karachi, they were doing just that. But Surge stay alive here at B4, but over towards B5, it's all red arrows.
Well, I think that's why they've always been a threat. Like, they're talented, sure, but they're smart players too, is why FaZe has been in the position they have been for so long. So They've usually been able to have a very wide map pool and get it done with lots of engagements, not a lot of engagements. So right now they're getting it done with not a lot of them, and they're getting close to a victory here. 10 more points to go, and they've got the dub. Abuzah trying to get in, maybe just needs another bullet. It's Simp, yeah, no, he's 7 HP, barely another bullet. Tries to challenge in, doesn't get his health back, but his duo and aBeZy is there to follow it up. Drazah, double, should end it, and the point is FaZe with the win. Is FaZe 1-0 up in this best of 5 so far over Seattle.
And it's similar to me for yesterday, where Surge have a couple of chances. I think you're early rotating to some of these hills, and you just need to win a couple of the key gunfights where maybe not a tie game, but it puts you in the mix. That second P3 you're hoping to cash in.
Listen, there's a ton of talent on Surge. I just don't know if it's quite at the bar of like your FaZe and your OpTic. When you talk just purely like winning your ones, like pure gun skill. Listen, I know the skill gap's not insane at times.
It could be, it's just consistently.
But yes, there's just moments where maybe exposed a little bit. So can you get a little bit more consistent in those situations, or you're going to need to find ways to outplay some of those top teams? But heck, even if they find themselves like right below the upper echelon, but above the rest, like this Seattle team still has a ton of potential, but it's just kind of glaring when you watch the last two when it's playing against FaZe and OpTic. It's tough fights, man, it is.
Yeah, especially on these hard points. They lost 2 hard points to OpTic. They lose this one here, but again, still a very long series when they go to Search and Destroy. But the problem for them, FaZe 3-0 and Search and Destroy on the year, always going to be one of the better S&D teams in the world, if not the best.
Absolutely. And I did the listening though. I love because like I don't know just how much Huke I was hearing.
Yeah, Abuzah and Huke, that sort of a duo working in that side of the map, trying to get as much info as they could. You kind of heard the idea again. It was just, as soon as FaZe got past red, they just swarmed that P3.
I think we would say comms maybe the single most important thing. I don't know, skill gap in Call of Duty esports to separate your good from your great. Like comms are so important, but there are times where your comms can be incredible, but if you don't win your gunfights, it doesn't matter. You'll have a plan. Plan's not going to come to fruition when you all die.
Yeah, we talked about the breaking from Atlanta FaZe coming into this. It looked a lot better than that throughout that map. They were on point. They had an idea of where they wanted to push from, and they won those key gunfights.
As long as you have Simp and aBeZy as your SMG duo, and they're not 40 years old, I think I'm going to feel pretty good about them being a break team. Maybe just, you know, the data we're looking off of is, what, 2 series. I think when the year is said and done, I'm pretty sure they'll be near the top when it comes to that. But
you don't think they'll pull a Brady, like 40-year-old champion? You don't think so?
Just keep going?
Yeah, I don't know why you're limiting their potential.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. No, yeah, maybe they'll be the ones to change the game.
Unbelievable. As a man near 40, that's crazy.
I'm getting there. But no, we're getting ready now for the Search and Destroy. This is when we've been excited just in general as a game mode to kind of watch some of these teams and how they're playing, because we didn't see it a lot in scrims. But before we get to that, let's talk about Simp versus Abuzah kind of, and these two players, how important they've been for their teams. Simp has been obviously statistically nuts thus far, but Abuzah hasn't been far behind him. They've both been great.
Now 1.4 or 1.5 for Simp, 1.29 for Abuzah. Yeah, average damage per round. They're pretty much getting a kill per round, right around it, leading the way for their squad. And I think in a game like this for Simp, where you have Deddy, you have covert sneakers, he's always kind of played this lurk role for this Atlanta FaZe team, but he just reads the map a little differently. If you go back to years past, it just feels like he has a great idea of where people are going to be as soon as things happens. Honestly, it's crazy to watch.
Yeah, I think in Search and Destroy and Control, it's been the most glaring, because in Hardpoint sometimes it's tough to do that just because it's a little chaotic, but in Control and S&D sometimes you're playing chess a little bit more. And yeah, you and I, you know, in years past with more typical title with Deddy, we just watched the mini-map, and it's just like the reads were nuts. He'd find that hole where others might not, and he would completely break apart an offensive attack or defensive hold. Like he'd find those holes. So I would think we're going to see a lot more of that. I mean, Simp, even when he was at his worst, he was still one of the best. He's a great player.
Yeah, and then on the other side for Abuzah, I mean, yeah, great start for the rookie. Was leading the way right there for map number 1, and then in that Search and Destroy, and you kind of heard the Desk talk about it, their Search and Destroy needs to be a key. If we're thinking their respawn isn't always going to be the, you know, the best of the best, they need a response in the Search and Destroy with the talent that they have.
Really should be, though. Like, I feel like they should. I don't know. I think the biggest question mark was probably Abuzah for many, and like that question mark's kind of gone pretty quickly. Like he is the real deal, I think. So there's potential here, man. Like I think it's gonna get better and better. Like I don't think we've seen like the ceiling for them at all.
No, not at all.
Well, that's how I see it, but we'll see. Could be totally wrong, but we'll see how it plays out. But now let's get into the search and destroy offense up for FaZe.
Yeah, and this map's just sort of a give and a take, right? Just where do you want that offensive push? Start from underground, you want to go through towards A, but it looks like it's going to be a B hitting through the smoke. Huke, Simp, they're going to trade, but aBeZy's going to make this a 1-on-2. He pops up from the ladder, has 2 free kills, but his teammates get taken down.
This would be a 1v2 for the ace. If he's able to do it, tons of time to work with, tons of time to reposition. The most difficult part is I was going to say he's got a rival. It's going to be probably the most difficult part to just find a 1-on-1 where he has the advantage. Doesn't really get an opportunity to.
No, I don't know if Arcitys saw him at some point or just realized, hey, he's going to take this route and re-wrap, because you were pretty split if you were Seattle Surge, but maybe it was that. Let's play from up top. We know he has the rival. Get some angles on him. And a lot of times on a map like Highrise and Search and Destroy, it's just info. Where is this player? Because there's the underground, there's all these routes that they could take with a sub, but as you said, they're limited in their gunfights.
Yeah, this is one I'm just watching aBeZy stream one time. He wasn't even playing like with his full pro team. He was like a tourney he was in. Like I've seen him lose his mind on this map. There's just a lot of. It's interesting sometimes for Search and Destroy between all the explosive barrels and some of the timings you can get. Sometimes he starts losing it here.
That'd be tough as a sub on some of these.
Yeah,
maps.
yeah, that's probably part of it too. It is. Nice win there from Illey though. Drazah is lying prone. Wins the fight. Huke taking another. aBeZy is going to be caught. The early kills for Surge are there, Joe.
Hey, it's usually winning those first bloods. Huke in the mix yet again. You saw him throw that smoke over towards A. Put some pressure over on that bomb site. Just backs away in the 2-on-3. And Illey, as you said, nice shots from him. And then Cell, it's a bit of a nerd angle that he always has.
Well, similar to last round, just different player up to bat. Now 1v2 opportunity for Cell. Last time around, it was Arcitys that kind of played spoiler. Gets the angle early. Abuzah able to get the information now. And just lurking by sight is Arcitys, waiting for when it's his time to pop. Cell has some wild clutches throughout the course of his career. He is looking for another one. Spots one. If he could get that finish there, that might have been a winnable round, but now he's in trouble. He had to get that kill when he went for the jump over the top.
And I think what you kind of saw just some angles from him, how he wants to play that situation. Why some people don't like Highrise with the mantling that it is in this game.
Yeah.
You can, there's just some crazy jump spots. But then you heard like the interview from Shotzzy yesterday, who loves to use that movement, use that mantling and jump. He's like, oh, it's my favorite map. So it just depends on the type of player you are.
Yeah, true. He just leads to really like awkward engagements and timings, I feel like, with some of the stuff you can mantle. Drazah finally puts in first blood up for Atlanta FaZe. This time the dominoes, they're rolling in FaZe's favor. It's a fast one. It's Arcety's last alive. But FaZe is playing off the back foot so early and often. This time they come in the hammer.
I think he just shot between 3 different people right there. It's just like, I don't know where I'm getting shot from. Grenade smoke is there. I'm just going to shoot and hope I hit someone. But yeah, like you said, just the first blood that time goes the way of Atlanta FaZe.
Yeah, the first like 2 bloods, just like almost simultaneous. aBeZy got as many kills as the rest of his team so far, but he's forward 2. They're down around now. Can they get a little success here defensively to tie it up, or will Surge keep cruising with these first bloods? aBeZy just trying to stay up. Stun hits him. Nate hits him. Slides away. He's alive for now.
Yeah, but the pressure's still going to be here, right? Arcitys is giving that calm that he's inside of the bomb site, and we know how long it takes to regain health sometimes in this title. Well, even last year's, where as soon as those shots come in, Huke gets hunting. Huke and Abuzah able to find aBeZy, give them that first blood.
Abuzah is still rolling, and there's the peek. Wonderful timing there from Huke. The wide peek onto Drazah, drops him. Another tough position for FaZe, and they will fall. So Surge, they get rolled in the last one. They answer back quickly. They go up 3-1.
Yeah, it's just nice teamwork, nice angles. I mean, you saw Arcitys, he's like inside of that window, sort of that office, looking through the blinds. Maybe you see the name tag pop up, starts to pre-fire that. As soon as those shots come in on aBeZy, they just swarm him.
It's early, but the 3-1 lead for Surge, I mean, it's felt dominant just because the only phase success happened in the blink of an eye. Everything else just felt successful for Surge. Arcitys trying to get some jump spots there to check for the heli side push. And
I'm not sure where that went.
it could be anywhere, Joe.
I have no idea. If that would have killed someone, that would have been the nade of the year.
First blood again comes through for Surge. Huke and Illey open it up. And it's just been two. It hasn't been like one clean first blood. It's been like one or two and no trade at times. Or if that trade does come in, 2 died. Like the numbers have been massively or stayed with Surge through this entire time. And Abuzah, he is there. They seem a little bit ahead on this map right now. That's how it's feeling.
Finding all the info. aBeZy again though in this sort of 1-on-3. He has the rival 30 seconds to work with. They know the bomb is down on B. It's where Huke found Simp. You can tell the way they're playing, just watching the mid-cross, and yeah, good luck. RC's just sitting on that spawn heady.
Yeah, good luck is right. 4-1 now. That's 4 first bloods for Seattle Surge.
They've just had a response to every single thing they've wanted to do. Every time they've gotten aggressive on B, Atlanta FaZe, there's always just sort of a counterplay.
Yeah, and like these FaZe teams a lot of times are, I mean, pretty good like all Surge maps, like all right, like they have their favorites and stuff, but not really a weak point. Like right now they don't look great compared to Surge. Like, they're getting hammered. There's some work to do here for sure. aBeZy, okay, I'm not sure how he won that one. We saw it sort of from Abuzah, like watching Huke drop. No trade, but it comes in another form as RC gets the kill. So they do what FaZe has struggled to do and bring the numbers even. But before I finish my sentence, Simp odds in their favor again. Now, on the other side of him, he should have aBeZy close.
Yeah, he knows it. He threw a stun bottom to try to find some info. Now, aBeZy's thinking about full flanking. So I think RC's just kind of waiting for Abuzah here to make a play. See what he can find around B. And that play's just going to be plant the bomb. And I don't hate it, right? Give yourself a winning scenario here. With the little info that you have, the key for them is just where does aBeZy pop out?
And you're pretty split if you're FaZe. You got like one mid and one either side. aBeZy opts to pop out finally, wins it. Same thing on the other side for Cell. So they both win their ones, they win the round. And just one of the few times they've had numbers. And well, honestly, it's what every team has got first bloods won the round.
Yeah,
I mean, that's. Now I know it's not everything, but
on this map, it seems to be throughout this game.
Yeah, it's kind of tracking that way so far.
And as you said, it's not really trades. It's sort of 1 down, 2 down, and then you're in this just tough scenario. That time, though, yeah, aBeZy, they knew he was underground, but so much time has passed. You saw where RC was playing, trying to play an off angle. If he does want a full flank, maybe he won't check.
Every opening duel is given like true advantage. There hasn't walked away with like a 3 versus 3 type thing. And that's probably why it's turned into round wins. We'll see if that'll change. As we get further into this one, the entire map blows up because why not? aBeZy is sending in. He got spotted at the last second, though. He is tagged up, but the help comes through. It's Simp that actually gets the kill. Simp that gets a second kill. aBeZy's gunfight looks real stressful. Oh, hello! Take a drop kick to the face. aBeZy finds another. Abuzah left alone. And the trend is continuing.
And you heard aBeZy. He's playing with speed, right?
Wait, did RC see the first blood?
Doesn't have covert sneakers coming into play, so it's all about that timing. They just go right up that A street. But Abuzah now, as you said, 1v3, and aBeZy's just, there's that info we were looking for. Now they know where he's gonna go. Or do they? I lied.
That should do it. Yeah, I think RC's got a kill right before Simp killed him, so, yeah. Finally, the first blood didn't matter. But FaZe get the round win. Now within 1.
I think there you just saw the switch up. B just hadn't been working for FaZe, just right up the A street, just kind of risked it. And aBeZy, talk about how tough it is to be a sub player on this map. He's 9-4 leading the way for the team.
Yeah, I've seen him get so flustered here at times just watching his stream, but maybe, you know, losing is learning. Dealing with it versus learning. He had some tough spots, but this time taking over.
What is this 9-4 spot? What?
Oh, that looks very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable.
No, it does, yeah.
You're basically balancing your nipples on a metal pole.
To some, that's a talent.
Yeah? Little did you know that aBeZy, he grew up, he was a big gymnast, Joe.
I could see it.
Yeah, he comes from a gymnast family. Yeah.
No, seeing the gameplay. Makes sense.
Known for his work on the beam or whatever that thing's called.
The beam. That's what it's called.
Simp first blood, aBeZy another. Looking to tie this one up 4-4. aBeZy into double digits, and they're picking them apart. As ugly as this look for FaZe throughout a lot of the early going in this game, you're now tied up at 4-4 and wipe everything off the board that I was talking about. But
yeah, eating your own words.
Well,
Huh? You thought they looked ahead. Well, now it's 4-4. Now it looks equal.
They did look real uncomfortable for a stretch there. Just getting outplayed. Like, not really getting any trades. Now, though, we're back to it. And I'm eating my words. And aBeZy is a fantastic gymnast. We're learning a lot.
He's up to double digits now, 4 in a row.
You ever seen him do a double backflip?
I haven't.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I doubt you have either. This is where he, sorry, it's on defense where you find that first blood. Him and Huke have just been going at it on this map through underground, but there's the first blood. Abuzah onto Simp, bomb down as well.
And I think that was like 2 or 3 of the nades used by Surge's side to try and take aBeZy out, but the bullets will do it.
You just see, like, he's just peeking, throwing a shoulder. Abuzah's got a crazy angle. The heady. This outer fight, Illey wins it. He did it from the opposite side, and once that first blood starts rolling, Surge win the round.
Yeah, and Illey's had Drazah's number in a couple of these gunfights. He's been winning, but he's just been sticking with his 1-2. Like, not backing down, just he is holding it, and he's taking the chow.
Yeah, sometimes that catches you off guard. Yeah, this guy's just gonna back away. They have the numbers. We'll fight to the death.
Yep. And, well, I mean, Drazah's been the one really struggling here. He's 2-8 and just had some one-on-ones he's not been able to win. Can he go to around 11 now? Arcitys with the opener. aBeZy is gone.
That might be one of those frustrating moments as we've talked about. No trophy down, or maybe the trophy's just a little bit late, and then again that first blood is followed up with a second, as now it's a 1v4 for Simp. He does get a little bit of help from a barrel, but that is gonna be it. Seattle Surge tie the series up at 1.
Yeah, FaZe rallied to bring it to 4-4, and then just got kind of smoked those 2 final rounds.
Just the early breaks, so those early starts in the round, maybe the nades, sort of the team pushes, a little bit better for Seattle Surge on that map.
Absolutely. And this seemed even a little more decisive just off those opening moments, how they wanted to play things. Fantastic stuff there from Surge. They'll tie us up now at 1-1. Rebound from a close map 1. Arcitys, hell of a map, 9-4. aBeZy, often referred to as his son in the past, 10-6 right there with him.
Yeah, on the other side, yeah. I mean, Drazah struggles a little bit, but I don't know. It's just a map where sometimes you're just out of the fight, and then you're left in a 1v3 and 1v4. You have one gunfight. It's just it's a tough one.
About that map in Search the way I do about Terminal and Hardpoint. That's how I feel.
Yeah. You aren't wrong, but yeah, tied up 1-1, and now they're probably happy we're going to be going back to Karachi.
Yeah, we'll get there for Control. It's been a blast for Control. I know we just did a really entertaining Invasion one, but Invasion could be your typical kind of slow it down at times, grind it out sort of defensive one. Karachi's had some spectacular moments. It gets a little bit nuttier there when it comes to Control.
Yeah, no, and I think the sub players, this is where they thrive. So
yeah. You can really go and find the gaps, make the plays. But we're getting ready to head to a break now before we get ready for the Control. Atlanta FaZe versus Seattle Surge. Simp making plays early on. He has been sensational here in the early going. Huke from Seattle Surge is going to step it up and maybe battle him in a respawn. Karachi Control coming up next. We're getting there right after the break.
Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL. Start the season strong with the Call of Duty League pack. Grab yourself the CDL Operator, Weapon Blueprint, and so much more. Check out the Call of Duty store in-game now.
The series currently tied up 1-1. FaZe, Surge, ready for Karachi control as our best of 5 continues on. Surge have done what we know they're capable of. They win the search and destroy. The question is which respawn are they maybe going to be able to win. Maybe it happens here. Maybe it's in the control.
Yeah, I mean, this is what they won yesterday, right? Able to take that control. Obviously, you know, there's VOD on both of these teams, how they like to play it. I'm sure they've trimmed it versus one another. A lot of times it just comes down to a couple of key moments. But I think the takeaway from map number 1, you know, if you look back at the respawns, you had aBeZy get going. Let's see if you can do it here again on this Karachi.
We get ready to go. Sub players just can get lost and make insane plays here. aBeZy looking to pop off. Keep your eye on Huke on the minimap and what lanes he's able to find. And you can just get people kind of, you know, pinned in a not really old-fashioned trap, but you can get them on lock. See that back alley hold, as we've seen players like Hydra love to do. But it's aBeZy's POV out the floodgates. He had a strong map too, despite the loss, and he's slamming already.
Yeah, no, it's just a question of what do you want to do? Maybe put some pressure on B, or just going to focus getting A done. Abuzah just playing safe, and yeah, he's watching that alleyway, so he's going to find that kill. Gives his Seattle team a little bit less pressure, but still already over to top red. So you're about to have 2 ticks done over at A. Over to Cellium's POV, and he just wins some of those difficult gunfights already up to 3-0.
You said Cellium's POV, and I was just staring at the camera, and I was like, yeah, I was so confused for a moment there, but there we go. There he is. We've got Cell now. Shot's not going to get it done. Arcitys on the heady. He takes the fight. First point is done. 2:12 to work with. Lives basically square. Nice win from Huke as Drazah gets pounced on around the corner. Cell's trying to bob and weave from the nades. Able to get a trophy down. Cars explode. Illey is dropping. And now FaZe looking to build up their first push here, but Abuzah trying to slow it down.
Yeah, but a nice kill onto Illey, right? That's really, I mean, you have sort of that crossfire with him and Abuzah over towards his junkyard, able to take that down. And again, we talk about the layers. This is sort of that. Getting into red if you are the attacking team. Now this is the area for the subs to thrive, and Huke is 5-in-1, just finessing which areas he going back to. Tries to take the gunfight. You're hoping to catch somebody's sprint. Instead, it is Simp who just slides on through and guns down Arcitys.
If he would have gunned him through that,
he was taking the shots.
Yeah, I was going to say, okay, that's not right. That should be illegal. Abuzah, though, he has his individual moment, and he slows it down for now. Last guy there is going to be Drazah. He's trying to survive until the help gets there, but you've got 2 players that pushed up to slow down the onslaught from Atlanta FaZe, but you've got 1 person on. Drazah is there. The rest of the boys coming to flank his end, though. It's Illey that's wrapping around the back. He's able to pick up Simp and slow this down. Cut the push in half.
Yeah, you kind of saw from Abuzah's POV and the rest of Surge. They just left Drazah. Right, for a moment, they said, let's just cut off the reinforcements. We'll deal with them later. aBeZy does get to him, but that's it. They deal with that first push, so nicely done. Now 10 versus 11 in lives. With almost 1 minute remaining in the round.
I think that stunned and hit. He thought he was okay for a moment, so Simp comes jumping around the corner, but multiple players there to deal with him. Just about to be 30 to go. Nice shots from Huke at range. He's had a hell of a defensive round. And Illey just trying to stay up. You've got 20 seconds left and really just 1 push. Lives advantage over to Surge. Nice defense so far here. Yeah,
you're trying to wait for your teammates to jump off a spawn. Nice opening kill, right? You've been so staggered if you are FaZe, but now you kind of just have to go. It's a 2-on-2 near the point. Simp's going to be the first man, but his teammates get cut down, and then off spawn, Illey finds it. So Abuzah and Huke, we talk about the subs, and well, over towards B, you only get 3 ticks, so nice job by those players. And if you think about Huke, especially last year, that OpTic team, they gave FaZe hell, right? They just could not win that matchup, and Huke was a big part of that. just him and Shotzzy get going. So difficult to stop. At times it feels like it's random. They're just in your face. So you need Huke to step up, and he's done just that.
And I think it just came down to that one moment, sort of you called out, where just the discipline to leave Drazah there. You know, it's one person not going to move the objective much and cut off the reinforcements. That was their one real big threat. They dealt with it beautifully. Didn't even lose one tick. Let's see what FaZe can do to respond now defensively in their hold. Abuzah, first tick done, 4 in a row.
He's kind of hanging out. He's trying to hear the nades, trying to go off, see if there's any trophies around him. But FaZe just kind of circling like sharks. Now they're going to go. 2 dead. They get him off of the point. Well, that's going on. Simp's just kind of working up, maybe trying to find those spawn kills. Or is he going to get bad timing? Arcitys, yeah, he knows how he likes to play it, and he's going to spot him. Now does the nade connect?
It doesn't need it. Lovely shots there from Arcitys. Second bit of progress now done. Looking to close this out and focus on B. They've got the numbers there. They should be in a good spot to get it done. They send aBeZy at it one more time to slow it down. He's going to get dropped. Now 25v25 is the next point pops. Pretty similar position to what we saw the last time through.
Yeah, neither defensive team really throwing much resources at the A point.
It's risky sometimes, just you get awkward timing and...
Yeah, if trophies are down, your nades don't connect, you don't go.
It's just a really quick transition to B. It's not far, right? But FaZe, they lose that first offensive attempt. They're trying to lock it down now to control B. Let's go to FaZe listening.
Get out. Nice,
I think yes, he is. He could pinch it.
Kyle's
go top side.
I spawned weird.
Yeah. One shot top red. He's on the balk. I'm dead, boys. I'm dead. There's 3 here.
I can jump out.
You're good.
Let's be to my
I don't
left.
see balk. I'm gonna back one, guys.
Could be pinching our side. I gave it up for a second.
I'm top right now.
I don't know where Kyler went.
I'm sitting in top red in the corner.
Hey, I'm looking for
I have balk.
Hey,
Top red.
Hey, I have a pinch. Can you run a bus?
Bottom mail right now.
Yeah, heard you.
I'm just holding a pinch, but it's a minute left.
Top red right now. On team mail. Top red. Hook mail.
Nice, four.
Might be close.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm trying to get red. Oh,
They spawned out.
He go Tristan.
One shot, Chris.
No one right. They know I'm here. You're good. You're just leaving.
I can't help you.
Here, I'm on your red.
Who's right there?
I have red.
They know I'm here in this corner for sure. That's fine. Kyler's going top left.
Here. Hey, I have top red. Mid's open.
One's low left on me. He's hitting my low left.
I think top red.
I'm turning. Top red.
Kind of heard the small talk there between the guys. Simp in a tough spot. They just leave me. I'm all right. They know I'm here. He's hit with a couple of stuns, but they've held. There's 20 seconds left and no real threat yet.
Yeah, I mean, both teams holding out to B very well, but the pace of this map's a little bit slower. You know, we always hear that in kind of post-game interviews, right? From scrims to matches, just much different. But even in general, compared to the matches, usually there's a lot of chaos around B, and we just have not had any of those scenarios. Well, both teams just holding down red. Huke does get through, but he's gonna need some help, and I just don't think he has it.
He does not. No, they all drop. I thought for a second you like talked that into existence. You're like, no threat on BF.
I wanted some chaos, you know?
And, yeah, almost. But FaZe said no siree. So we're tied up at 3 ticks each. We get ready now for round 3. If you joined us late, series tied up 1-1 in this best of 5. FaZe able to take the hard point. Surge answering the search and destroy. Drazah and Cell both taking 5 streaks into this round 3.
Yeah, it's a little bit different than like the stat line of the Surge side, right? It's sort of the subs leading the way for Surge, just how they held defensively. But that time, DAR is really standing out for FaZe, their positions that they were holding. But I think that's really the key. Red or Hotel, whatever you want to call it, for both defenses, they really haven't given that up much. And when that's not given up, you have presence there. You get the further spawns if you're the attacking team. Makes that a little bit more difficult. But off this start, in FaZe, they find the first 2 kills and kind of the same old scenario we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, just no major mistakes from either team on defense yet. I mean, sometimes like when you've got 2 just solid teams, it just comes down to who has a miscomm, who leaves an opening. Where does that first mistake come? And we'll see. Good on defense this far, but yeah, A's been crystal clear really for both teams. I mean, FaZe just lost their first player. And they're about to be done. Both teams feel very confident in their ability to lock down B.
Yeah, Drazah does get the crew, so you have 6 in a row. You have that to work with. Can you find another one maybe for Cell? Trying to reposition. A not done yet. Again, only 1 player on it, so it takes some time. But you do pause the clock. Looks like they are going to go for a bit of a retake. That was Abuzah who hits the flank, found a kill, but he only finds one. But I think that was Cell, so you don't get the second cruise.
It's like the same exact thing you saw aBeZy do. Like, just like send one more.
Yeah, so you might as well.
Yeah. So Drazah's streak is still rolling.
Here we go, though. You have Cell in the spawn, and there we go. There's maybe that chance. 3 dead, make it all 4. Cellium, he can cut off the dumpster alley, and maybe just like that, could potentially be around. We talked about that transition. It might be perfect here for FaZe.
Yeah, the headshots are rolling. Everyone gets dropped. They're all dead in the dumpster, tucked away, thrown away with the trash. That round's done. That was quick. Wow.
And you said it like you're playing so kind of patient with this 8 point, and that's kind of why, because once you get through that cleanly, it's over.
Yeah, and that's where even like, do you even need to throw Abuzah at it one more time in that situation? That even up mattering? With him coming off spawn, I don't know, but like, that is sometimes why you see teams just give up A kind of, because it's just bang bang. If there's a simple mistake, or it's just tough to like, you just can't get into your setup sometimes. Like, and then once you're all spawning back alley, like, I mean, Drazah even had a cruise to get a land on their foreheads if you really wanted to. Like, it wasn't looking good.
Maybe a little bit more A defense here.
He's still going too.
Yeah, Drazah on another 7 spree. Simp now is looking for the 6 in a row. It feels like he's always in this spot, trying to deal with the AR shots through the wall, just dodging everything that he can. And now just the sprees have picked up for FaZe. 5 in a row for aBeZy, 5 in a row for Simp.
And I think it just started with like their defense. Like, even though both teams did a solid job, FaZe really just had them locked up even worse. Like, and you saw that kind of behind the streaks too. They're carrying over the 5 streaks for that first defense for selling draws, and you just run clamps if you were Surge. You spin that momentum into an offensive win, and now you're getting real close to winning this map 3. His heads are just getting ripped off. FaZe is in utter control here in map 3.
Yeah, another cruise. Simp was able to find that. They only have 1 takedown at A, 40 seconds remaining, a 7 life advantage. Looks like the one player may have snuck through is Huke. You have Abuzah inside of red, but they just cannot get to a point.
Well, that's what I was kind of worried about, because like, I mean, FaZe really had them locked up for B last time. Like, and then you roll through an offense like that. Like, you just got all the confidence in the world. I think they're like, let's just end it here. Let's put them down. Drazah's on 5 in a row again, by the way.
24 and 9.
Drazah is taking over. They call him Mr. Karachi.
That might be his new nickname. It might be. Do you get to B? It looks like there's 1 player maybe with a chance. You get to B, but you have 1 on A. Cellium locks down the B point. Maybe a trophy helps out that player, or we just missed it. But 1.3 seconds left. This is going to take a miracle, because if it's not due to the time, you have 11 lives remaining.
Well, this is one of those, it's getting kind of like messy. This is one of those situations like a little bit of a gamble. If you're FaZe, do you go for the jugular here?
Drazah
Get them off the point.
Yeah, he's down.
Oh my lordy, Drazah is heating up. But there's somebody on B. The last player alive will be Arcitys. Arcitys, I don't know who Arcitys is. He's already got a twin brother. That's Priestahh.
Well, Jenny, just stay up. You have the presence here. Still 2 dead. Make it 3 dead, but they lose the 1 player on the point. And Cellium just slides on in.
That ended up being like a way weirder ending than I thought it was going to be. Like, where it looked in that round 4, like, it was just kind of done. Like, FaZe were in complete control. And then, like, that happens a lot in control, though, when you're in desperation mode. If you're the offense, like, you're just sending people on routes to try and get to the other point. Like, streaks start coming in, like, all chaos was breaking loose. So it looked a little chaotic, but when you look at the scoreboard, yeah, I mean, it looks real good when you have draws at 27-11. I mean, he had himself a map. That is an impressive. You're almost triple positive.
Yeah, I mean, similar to map 1, just a slaying a little bit one-sided. Good defensive round for Seattle Surge, but after that, they gave up that offense. FaZe go up 2-1, and they were just put into the trap there. And I think, yeah, it's chaos with the streaks and everything, but FaZe were kind of like, let's just end this here, right? Let's just go for it. Get them off of this point.
Yeah. And I just thought it might be risky in the sense of, that's what we were just talking about. Like, you kind of go for that, like, even when it's not.
Yeah, we've seen it backfire.
Yeah, where it could end up backfiring and suddenly got both points, but at the same time in that moment, especially when you know you have one person who's kind of pushing through to try and hit the opposite point, like, you know, you have numbers there to clean that up. They do a great job. They deal with the players on the point, and I mean, Drazah, who really struggled in that map too. I mean, what, 2-8, 2-9. I mean, he bounces back with a vengeance here. That's what's always been a threat, I think, with these FaZe rosters. It's just they all have that insane pop-off potential. So one bad map, I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Yeah, I mean, props to him. I mean, just kind of going through the mental blender on Highrise Search and Destroy, just it goes crazy.
It feels like he was like pissed, like real mad about how that one went. And you know how he is. Like Drazah's borderline a psychopath when it comes to Call of Duty. Like for those that don't know, we've had him on our podcast. He's just like,
he loves it.
It's not live, laugh, love. It's like COD. Like this guy, all he wants to do is play Call of Duty. He is a nut when it comes to that. So yeah, I'm sure he wanted to get in his bag after that rough map too.
Yeah, puts the hours in, puts the time in, as we say.
Yeah.
There we go. FaZe winning both of the respawns. Up next, Invasion Hardpoint. Kind of the same thing right here for Surge. You lost 2 hardpoints yesterday versus OpTic. Can you find one here? Can you get the rest of the team going? You've had a couple of players step up, but you need the entire squad.
Yeah, and I think even worst case scenario, like if this is a series you lose and you lose, all the respawns if you were Surge, like, you've got the winter break coming up. We'll have, like 3 weeks till our next set of matches, and I think it's almost like kind of a good test, I think, just see how you do against teams like OpTic and FaZe. I mean, they're very different teams, but they're both just wildly talented. Like, kind of get a litmus test for where you're at. Know what kind of work you need to put in, what you need to focus on. New spawns are coming out, so there's gonna be a lot to it. But I don't know, it's just sort of a good reality check, sort of. I think because they started so well, all the hype is there. Now you get a little reality check, maybe get a better idea where you're at, and you know what to work on.
Yeah, no, I think for sure. I mean, outside of the Karachi control, a lot of the respawns they played versus both of these teams were very close.
They have it.
Yeah, just fundamentally, there's some things to work on through the VOD. That one was a little bit different than what we've seen. That was very one-sided.
It was, but I just think more. I think it's easy. When you are a team like Surge, who's got a big chip on their shoulder, a lot of these players do, and you come in, you start out 2-0. I think the whole community is kind of hyping you up. I think almost like when we talked to Illey on the podcast about how kind of getting dropped and stuff was almost like a reality check that was good to make him hungry again. Just as a team sort of all right, slow our roll. Like we have a lot of work to do, still working. I think that's good for anybody.
Yeah, you can see Cellium. Map number 1, 20-10 throughout that one. That is a 2.0 KD. That's how the math works. But you see non-traded kills, 95%.
I think the single funniest thing of the CDL is that guy's name's MacArthur.
Why? What's wrong with that? Your name's Clint.
Yeah, all right, good point. Good point. I don't know. It just doesn't look like a MacArthur, man. I don't look at Cell and think, oh, gosh darn it, MacArthur.
Well,
I see MacArthur. I see someone riding on horseback in Kentucky. I don't know, Joe. That's what I see.
I think the same thing about Clint Forrest.
All right, man. This is just commentator on commentator hate.
So maybe you guys were both just meant to ride horses in Kentucky.
I'm down. Sell you down, bud? Spend the rest of our lives together, just enjoying the sunsets, Kentucky, riding our wild horses into the moon. Moonlight, not into the moon. We're not flying horses.
Yeehaw.
Okay, all right, focus up, Joe.
Yeehaw.
Here we go. now you're symphony. That's nuts.
Yeah, but he was from Texas.
Okay, well, dancing with the devil is Cellium. Nice shots there from Simp, ripping off heads. The headshots lining up in the feed. We'll get ready for our next hard point of pop here. 20 seconds remaining on this. Just your typical sort of midpoint start. Chaos ensues.
I mean, Huke gets maybe a spawn that you want for P2, but it looks like he's going to go at P1 again. His teammates find some kills. Drazah try to put some shots in, and yeah, Huke just goes right to B Dom. Now he can go DVD, get that cutoffs up that street. As you're going to have Illey get over to that hill first. So a 1-point advantage for Seattle Surge, but Simp right up the street, takes down 2.
So for whatever reason, when he gets to this area right here, he likes to make plays. That's where his S&D escaped from. He's had some wild ones in control. I don't know what it is about that part of the map, but he feels very, very comfortable. And if he would have won that second fight, more evidence of that. But so far, so good for FaZe. You're about to get back into the point. Still 35 seconds to go. Nobody in for now, though, because the 2 people with eyes on the cross, and it's not going to happen. So far, so not good for FaZe. Is simply suddenly the only one alive, but sometimes that is all you need.
Well, in worst case scenario for them is the spawns flip, right? Because with P3 coming up, that's what they were doing. They were trying to hold the tank, keeping them spawn Palace, but Surge didn't react, so now we're going to flip again, and there it is. Yeah,
Simp and the whole Surge team spawn on top of each other.
Exactly.
And Simp's just killing them all.
That's the way that works.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were ready for it. Simp was ready for it. He knew it was happening. You see both teams try to put each other in that position before you get over to P3. But Illey gets out. He stayed alive, got all the way to this position. And somehow, after all of that, Abuzah's in the hill.
Yeah. All right, so we take a breath. And now Abuzah soaks up the time. Looking to bring this one back. Still obviously very, very early, but the feed just lights up, and with numbers for a moment, it should be FaZe, but Arcitys wants nothing to do with that. He's putting down his former teammates in Simp and aBeZy. And now he's got to, listen, he was on the team. He once FaZe, he goes from FaZe, like, one of the best teams of all time, to the struggles with LAG. You think it's part of it sort of like, I got the team maybe now to push these guys, maybe want to get a little revenge, I don't know.
You have to check, right?
That's true. That's true.
He won a world championship, but he got paid for it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what kind of happens even in the sports world. You have a decision. Do I stick this out or what? But he got the check, and now he's back on the Seattle team, and he wants to put a statement on it and say, I'm not done yet.
Yeah, I think it's the team he feels he can make some runs with, 100%.
You have Surge inside, but what's coming up next is that Palace Hill. You can see the way that they are playing it. That is Cellium playing very safe all the way across the map, and Illey is working up that street. So that could be a big gunfight. Watch that number 7 as the fight is going down on the hill. Abuzah with 9 HP staying alive.
I'm pretty sure every time Simp gets a kill right now, Jones too. He's 15-7, and every time, okay, I lied, there's one right there. But he has just been going off early in this game.
And Illey gets this rotate though, so he's here. So you see all the red arrows, they're starting to panic, but Illey's gonna have to buy a lot of time because his teammates are all the way across the map. And the offensive spawn for Search and Destroy. So it is Illey against the world at P5.
One man, his name was Illey. He must shut down. He gets one. He drops down. Drazah here with some gunfights to deal with. As long as he can lock down this side of him. That's some deep shots. He's getting tagged from Arcitys, basically off a spawn across the map, but that kind of helps his teammates move up, because if he can hold that position, he's able to cut these reinforcements in that right side, kind of A Street push. A team kill does come through as Arcitys was helping out his teammates. Illey said, naughty girl, puts him down.
Yeah, but I mean, you do have the pressure here. I mean, you had 2 kills for Abuzah, who's got 14, trying to keep up with the pace with Simp. Huke now is there. Maybe if you get this scrap time, I think it's a bit of a win, but that's going to be 3 dead. Comes down to this 1v1, and Simp's winning it. He's winning all of it. There's the cruise missile. 19-7. This man, we've been talking about it on this broadcast, is in his bag on this title.
Yeah, since we first dove into scrims and watched him, I mean, he just was leading the pack in every map we were watching. Everyone would have 20 kills, he would have 40. It was just like, okay, what's going on here? And he's kept that going. Now, will he all year? Who the hell knows? But right now, he has been truly remarkable. And this is just an example of it right now when you just take a look at kind of everyone's kills in the lobbies and where Simp is sitting currently. How far can he push this streak? One to the corner, he's shouting that. Oh, that second to full burst gets through, he might take him down, but Huke, he's up for the challenge.
Yeah, Trophy gonna block that nade. If that nade hits, probably gets the trade. Maybe Cellium can get that hill break, but he's just gonna put the Trophy down, wait for his teammates off a spawn. If it's not Simp, it is aBeZy. 3 gonna be dead. The last player up for Seattle is Huke.
Huke just trying to get in the trade though. It is there. Now aBeZy, he's caught between the flood of Surge players. Takes out 2 of them. The rest are going to worry about the rotation. 10 seconds left on the point. aBeZy's going to spawn up and, I don't know, maybe he's trying to get 5 seconds of scrap time or flank the people at the hard point because he spawns away from his team. And that's exactly what will happen. Okay, he'll get 3 ticks and now the pinch will happen. But the jig's up. They know where aBeZy is. They're able to shut him down. And Simp's back at the hard point here.
But this is what Seattle want, right? You see number 2 spawn where aBeZy is at Palace. They're trying to do that. You had Arcitys go on this full flank. You had one player winning connector, and they get FaZe spawning Palace. They set themselves up maybe for a P2 and P3 back-to-back kills, which would give them the lead. All the kills going their way. Still a lot of time, though, for FaZe to get out of it. You also have the cruise missile. That's going to help.
Let's see what the cruise does. If anything, it gets him out of the points. So no trophy there for the coverage.
Do they turn? Do they turn? Maybe just not ready for it that quickly. That was Illey off spawn. And there we go. Once the spawn comes in from Cellium, they all turn. But they were just worried. They were where the spawn was. Now they have to react to Surge.
like all of them pop. Sometimes you'll get that little bit of a split when it's all going out at the same time, but they're all going to spawn Palace. Now the race is on. Trying to get there first will be Simp for the FaZe side. Seattle Surge sitting 2 out of it. That'll be Huke and Illey. Simp, though, already taken out Illey. Simp, once again, doing a great job just winning that rotation fight when he's kind of in a 1v2 in that spot.
Well, it just was... I took my eyes off the minimap. So I think Arcitys spawned in the back.
He had to have, because it was Huke and Illey, I think, that were the ones pushing up, so they gave him a spawn.
Yeah, I saw like Simp get his shot at, so I was like, from where? And then I looked down, and yeah, Arcitys, maybe it's blessed with a little bit of spawn, and that just means Surge is on the hill.
Yeah, it's weird because, you know, you always spawn near the hard point. They tried to, and no one was really backside, but yeah, it just doesn't look good when Simp's in the hard point, right?
Yeah, it's one of those situations, see some clips of like coaches kind of like just trying to figure out, explain this one logically. Sometimes they can't, but it doesn't matter for FaZe because they get the 4 dead.
I think when Brian's saying, or who
yeah, he said like, this is hell.
I think that was that spawn. Like that literally was that spawn. When I saw it, I was like, yeah. But that one was a little bit worse. I remember there were multiple players, not just Simp. But now eclipsing the 200-point mark, it is FaZe. 50 points to go now for the win. Let's see if they can break through. Not going to happen. Illey's just, I felt like he's pre-fired aBeZy through the window. aBeZy barely got to the top of the ladder and he was dead. Same thing happens to Drazah at the window.
Yeah, ladder not safe. Illey is there, so you might have to take that gunfight first. Cellium just trying to find the wall base. There is that gunfight.
Tough. That is tough.
Not an easy one. Simp, though. 26 kills, 2 minutes on the hill. Still, it might not be enough. You have 30 seconds left. We talked about Palace, and this time Surge in control of those spawns. And you're hoping maybe to find the 30 seconds of this hill. The gunfights go the way of Surge. You'll get 20 seconds to scrap.
I didn't realize he had 2+ minutes in the hard point, too. All right, so he's doing it all this map. That is for sure. It was Drazah sort of putting the team in the bag last map. Simp getting it done here. This will get them right over 220, but I mean, you are fully in this game if you are Surge. Now, the big thing though, even if you got a full 60 here, you can't win it if you're Surge. So we'll see another hard point past that, but they're going to desperately need this time. Very winnable for both teams.
Yeah, what is Surge, you know, how do FaZe want to approach this to try and break this? There's going to be the first one. Drazah's going to go. Wants to help his teammates out working towards that tank street. So you at least get that first layer broken. You see the spawns aren't that close for Seattle Surge, so for now it's kind of a 2v2. It's going to turn into another team fight here in a second, and here we go. Can they find the break?
Depends on Simp, I think. If Simp can get the kills for the reinforcements as well, and they do that, Simp and Cell, I think, able to get the kills to get through. You still have Illey here, though.
They can't win, though. They cannot win here. So, yeah, Illey at least got them to back to P1, and he's still alive. Finally taken down. You still have some players going for the scrap time. That's going to be Abuzah.
Oh
the mantle up, and he hits the shots. 5 HP.
That's a hell of a win. The pistol hit like a nuke there. We're going to have basically a tie game. If they get the tick, it'll be 230-230. Going into our next hard point. aBeZy with a kill close to next. Now we set up. Here we go. 22 points needed for Surge, 15 needed for FaZe. Surge desperately have to break on in. Simp still finding kills around the point. He's up to 31, making another double for him through on the feed. 5 to go now for the win. Simp ripped out of it by Arcitys. Shots from Arcitys into the spawn as well, but someone's got to get to the point. They got to contest. Not gonna happen, or not gonna happen long enough. The respawns go the way of FaZe. Simp has another insane map there in the map 4. It's laughs up, smiles up, FaZe up.
Yeah, just all the kills on the transition from Palace. Obviously, you're fighting the scrap time. You're going to get gifted the rotation because they fight for the scrap time. But even after, there was about 10 seconds. You had 3 players try to get there if they were Surge, and they were just cut down. You just never really had any trades come in from Surge.
Bro, I think you saw like Illey just like hands in his face, head back. Like, it's just, they're losing some brutal respawns. Like, they just know these are all